Hello everyone, I'm Joe Kubicki and welcome to Dorm Improvement. Over the course of the next few weeks, we'll show you tips, tricks, and projects that you can do to improve your dorm room. For the first show today, we have a fun project that will take us some time, but it's definitely worth the work. We'll be taking this used cabinet and turning it into a coffee bar with storage space for cups and mugs. Here to help us today with this project is my co-host, Matt Copleen. Matt, how are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome, Joe. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Are you ready to get started?
I'm so excited. Let's get it done.
All right, here are the materials you'll need for this project. A cabinet, a furring strip, a piece of baseboard trim, a sheet of pegboard, a cutting board, screws of varying lengths, 1x4 pine boards, clear caulk, and construction adhesive. And if you want to add your own personal touch, we also have some paint and shims to give our cabinet some character. With any project, safety is the most important thing. And for that, Matt has the safety tip of the week for us.
Thanks, Joe. Personal protective equipment is always an important part of any project. Always make sure to wear eye protection and hearing protection.
All right, to start, we took the door off of our cabinet so that it wouldn't get in the way while we work. We also sanded, primed, and pre-painted all of the pieces. The first thing that we are going to do is measure to cut down the boards for the sides. These boards will hold the pegboard to the cabinet. So we want our first board to be just shy of 30 inches. And we want this one, we already pre-painted it, but we want this one to be real nice and clean because it's going to be the front edge that you'll see on the cabinet. The second board will be cut to the same length, but doesn't have to be nearly as nice because you won't actually see this board. Now that we have cut the boards, we will attach them to the side of the cabinet with some 1-inch screws. But before attaching, we will drill several pilot holes in the spots where the screws will be placed.
Joe, how come we have to drill the pilot holes? How come we just can't put the screws in right now?
Well, with a pilot hole, it makes it a lot easier to get the screw started and it's a lot faster. The other reason is so that we don't split the wood. This wood is pretty thin and pretty brittle for the size of screws we're going to be using, and so we want to eliminate as much of the risk of splitting the wood as we can. So now we're going to take the pieces of wood that we just drilled and attach them to the cabinet with some 1-inch screws. So we've just finished attaching the pieces of wood to the sides, and as you can see, they are locked down pretty good.
We'll use these scrap pieces as fillers for the top and attach them with some construction adhesive and some 1-inch screws up from the bottom.
Now that we've went ahead and caulked these boards and attached them that way, we're going to secure them one extra time with some screws up from the bottom. So we cut the backer to hold the trim and we attached it to the cabinet with some screws. We then went ahead and cut the trim to the length that we wanted it, and we attached it to the backer with some screws on the front side. We also attached our sheet of pegboard to the side as well, and now we're going to get ready to attach the top. We are now going to put some construction adhesive on the top of the cabinet to attach the cutting board. We then will use some 1.5-inch screws up from the bottom in order to secure it in place permanently. We're going to clamp it nice and easy so that we don't squeeze all the glue out.
The next step is, as Joe holds the door for me, I'm going to mark where the handle will go, and then I will drill some holes and then drill the handle in with some screws.
We have finished attaching the handle, and we're going to go ahead and reattach the hinges that we took off earlier before we painted. And we're just going to use the same holes that already exist. And I personally like to attach these by hand. You run a lot less risk of stripping the screw if you do it by hand, because otherwise you have to go to the hardware store and get a new screw. We're going to leave these just a little bit loose so that we'll tighten them up once we get the cabinet door back on. All right, so we're just gonna finish getting this screw started here just a little bit. And then we will get just so it holds the door, and then we'll get the other one started. It's a lot lower here. So I just finished attaching the door to the cabinet. We first got the top screw started most of the way so that it would hold the weight of the door so we could set the other screw in place. We then attached the other one part of the way just to get it in place, and then slid the door exactly where we wanted it to, because these hinges give you a little bit of space. And then we attached them down all the way so that it was locked in place, and it looks like this door is working pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and go for our final step, which is going to be to put a bead of caulking along the top of the cabinet here. And this does two things. The first thing is kind of more of an aesthetic look. It just keeps it nice and clean. That's why we're using clear instead of white. The second thing is more of a functional use, and this is going to prevent any spilled water or coffee off of this top from going inside of the cabinet to the area where we put the filler strips in before we attach the top. So we'll keep this area nice and dry. And there you have it, a great homemade coffee bar and storage unit. There's a lot of interesting storage on this, including inside of the door, so things that you don't want people to see you can put in there, as well as great outside storage so you can store your really nice mugs outside and let everybody see them. We'd like to thank you for joining us for this episode of Dorm Improvement, and hope you've had fun learning how to make this project. Be sure to check out dormimprovement.com for more information on upcoming projects and future episodes. Until next time, I'm Joe Kubicki, and this is Dorm Improvement.